Good to see both of you and Jeremiah. We don't know where the others are. Maybe they'll be coming in soon. Let's hope so. And good morning, everyone out there in Facebook land. We don't know who's joining us from Facebook land right now because our Facebook streaming camera is turned the other way because Nene is in town with us. Good morning, Nene. It's great that she is here with us today. Hi, Mesa. That's right, I can't. Jeez. I'm thinking she'll be able to say hi back verbally. How you doing today, Daryl?
Good, how are you?
I'm a little on edge, man.
You are?
I'm a little on edge. I think I need to say a couple of prayers, that create in me create in me a clean heart, oh my God, and renew a tranquil conscience within me, oh my hope. That prayer. A little on edge, but I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I can't say I'm not doing well.
So let's do a prayer.
Huh?
Let's do a prayer.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Let's start as usual with a prayer. Oh God, refresh and gladden my spirit. Purify my heart. Illumine my powers. I lay all my affairs in thy hand. Thou art my guide and my refuge. I will no longer be sorrowful and grieved. I will be a happy and joyful being. O God, I will no longer be full of anxiety, nor will I let trouble harass me. I will not dwell on the unpleasant things of life. O God, thou art more friend to me than I am to myself. I dedicate myself to thee, O Lord. And this is a prayer by Abdul Baha. And maybe it's not a coincidence that it was just turned there. I mean, I had it open. Maybe that's the one I needed to read to get us started. Good morning again, everyone. And so as you know, if you've been joining us, we have been working with the book Toward Oneness, a compilation on racial and cultural issues toward oneness. And we're not at the end yet, but we are coming very, very close to the end, to the point that we need to start thinking about what's our next book going to be. And Andy actually contacted me and said, you know, there is a second part to this book.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a second part to this book. It's actually longer than this,
Okay.
but additional readings since this book was published, and that's something that we might want to consider. In fact,
sure.
I've got the book in there. I would jump up and get it, but I won't do that right now.
For sure.
Yeah, but yeah, this is the book we're reading, and in this version of the book, same book, just, you know, different edition, different printing, I should say. We're on page 32, I believe. What page are you on, Daryl?
37.
37. And we stopped last week with a little bit of a cliffhanger. And what was that question?
What if I'm unsatisfied with how individuals respond to my concern?
What if I am unsatisfied? I'm sorry. What if I am unsatisfied with how individuals respond to my concerns? Hang on. Oh God, refresh and that's a very good question, because you know, when we're dealing with issues, problems, and so forth, even with people who may even be like-minded in regard, you know,
And
feeling
well-intentioned.
yeah. Sometimes you don't get the response.
And it's forbidden to twist their arm until they respond appropriately.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Good morning, Sharon A. How are you? We were in a devotion.
Lava, Prince. How do you do?
I'm good, thank you.
Aloha.
We were in a devotion yesterday.
Lava.
So anyway, what if I am unsatisfied with how individuals respond to my concerns? What do you say about that, Daryl?
Well, what I say is that the friends must be patient with each other and must realize that the cause is still in its infancy and its institutions are not yet functioning perfectly. The greater the patience, the loving understanding, and the forbearance the believers show towards each other and their shortcomings, the greater will be the progress of the whole Baha'i community at large. One of the greatest problems in the cause is the relation of the believers to each other. For their immaturity, shared with the rest of humanity, and imperfection retard the work, create complications, and discourage each other. And yet, we must put up with these things and try and combat them through love, patience, and forgiveness, individually and proper administrative action collectively.
Oh, man. So we're talking patience, we're talking loving understanding, forbearance, because we're dealing with imperfection and immaturity of people who even, you know, are working on the same side.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, yeah, it's still going to be.
And different cultures, absolutely.
Yes, and different. Little
Absolutely.
inside joke there, folks.
Patience
and different-
is the key.
and different
It's the
cultures.
operative term here.
Yes. But that's a good point, babe. It is. I mean, Nini, that's a good point. It's a very
Okay,
good
and
point.
on behalf of Shoghi Effendi, he says, you have complained of the unsatisfactory conditions prevailing in the Baha'i community. The guardian is well aware of the situation of the cause there, but is confident that whatever the nature of the obstacles that confront the faith, they will be eventually overcome. You should, under no circumstances, feel discouraged and allow such difficulties, even though they may have resulted from the misconduct or the lack of capacity and vision of certain members of the community, to make you waver in your faith and basic loyalty to the cause. This says, don't give up, no matter what, basically.
Yeah.
Surely the believers, no matter how qualified they may be, whether as teachers or administrators, and however high their intellectual and spiritual merits, should never be looked upon as a standard whereby to evaluate and measure the divine authority and mission of the faith. It is to the teachings themselves and to the lives of the founders of the cause that the believers should look for their guidance and inspiration, and only by keeping strictly to such true attitude can they hope to establish their loyalty to Baha'u'llah upon an enduring and unassailable basis. You should take heart, therefore, and with unrelaxing vigilance and unremitting effort, endeavor to play your full share in the gradual unfoldment of this divine world order.
Okay, Daryl, I got to stop you there, man, because to me there's a lot there. That's actually not a long paragraph, but I think that certain things that were pointed out, I mean, we understand the importance of love and, patience and forbearance and so forth. But I can, again, I'll say on a personal note, and I've spoken about this before, I still remember this feeling of, I don't know what to call it, but this joyful feeling after having declared. I felt it. I still remember driving to work. I don't know if it was the next day, but some day soon thereafter, and actually looking around at people as I'm driving to work, other people in their cars, people walking down the street, and just having this feeling, this sense of connectedness, of that oneness that we're supposed to be working towards.
Sure.
And then as time went by, and I'm, getting more and more, immersed in the Baha'i community and so forth, I actually remember a sense of not deep disillusionment, but some disillusionment. And it came from unrealistic expectations on my own part. And when obviously I've had time to think about this, and hindsight is 20/20. When I think of all of a sudden, whatever my expectations of these people were that were already a part of this faith, I'm not going to say they were unrealistic, but in certain ways, maybe they were a little unrealistic, because I'm expecting these people, we're all on the same page. We've all accepted Baha'u'llah as this manifestation of God. We've accepted this new revelation. We all understand that oneness, the oneness of humanity, is what we're all supposed to be working towards. We're all working towards it. So why are we having disagreement? Why is it that some people drop the ball? And then you have to deal with the fact that you're still dealing with imperfect human beings.
That's right.
With imperfect human beings. And so we do have to be patient. And so we do have to be forbearing and forgiving. And we have to look at our own imperfections as well. Yes.
And practice this.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. And keep, understanding that I still take joy from knowing that we still, what is it? Should never be looked, I'm just going to read that again. I know I'm taking a little too much time here. The believers should never be looked upon. The believers, this is why this struck a chord with me. I'm skipping a large part there. But the believers, and I'll go ahead and read it all. Surely the believers, no matter how qualified they may be, whether as teachers or administrators, and however high their intellectual and spiritual merits, because we got a whole lot of high intellectuals that we personally know.
Sure.
But what we're being told here is they should never be looked upon as a standard whereby to evaluate and measure the divine authority and mission of this faith.
Right.
We look to the teachings themselves.
Absolutely.
It is to the teachings themselves and to the lives of the founders of the cause that the believers should look for their guidance and inspiration. and try and again, align ourselves with those. And hopefully, if we do that, we can look at the imperfections of others with forgiveness. And, and as Abdul Baha said, look at the one fault instead of, at the one positive characteristic they have or the one quality, instead of, looking at their other faults, which again, as I said a couple of weeks ago, nice shirt. Yes, Nini had something to say.
Only believe, only the teaching, if you don't put it into your life and doing, is nothing.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Cannot hear me.
The next paragraph addresses some of what you both said. We must never dwell too much on the attitudes and feelings of our fellow believers towards us.
Oh, wait a minute.
Never dwell
you're
too
right.
much
I have
on
a
the
typo
attitudes
here.
and feelings of our fellow believers towards us. What is most important is to foster love and harmony and ignore any rebuffs we may receive. In this way, the weaknesses of human nature and the peculiarity or attitude of any particular person is not magnified, but pales into significance in comparison with our joint service to the faith we all love.
I have to interrupt
What
you
is
here.
most important is to foster love and harmony and ignore any rebuffs we may receive.
I just want to interrupt you and say Renee has joined us. This is his first time with us today.
Good morning,
Hey,
Renee.
Renee. And I don't think I said hi to Gilbert. So hi, Gilbert.
So,
Good morning.
So
Glad you could
the
join
next
us.
question: how should I respond if I do not agree with how an institution handles my concern? So it's not just individuals now. We're talking about how the institutions address the same concerns if we don't happen to agree. The Guardian believes that a great deal of the difficulties from which the believers feel themselves to be suffering are caused by their neither correctly understanding or putting into practice the administration. I'll repeat that. The Guardian believes that a great deal of the difficulties from which the believers feel themselves to be suffering are caused by their neither correctly understanding or putting into practice the administration. They seem, many of them, to be prone to continually challenging and criticizing the decisions of their assemblies. If the Baha'is understand the very leaders which are, however, immaturely seeking to coordinate Baha'i activities and administer Baha'i affairs, if they continually criticize their acts and challenge or belittle their decisions, they not only prevent any real rapid progress in the faith's development from taking place, but they repel outsiders who quite rightly may ask how we ever expect to unite the whole world when we are so disunited among ourselves.
So we need to remember that we should try to remember that.
Did you see where it said if the believers undermine the authority, not understand?
Yes, if the Baha'is undermine very leaders, yes.
If we undermine the leadership, if we undermine the very leaders, which are, and he points out, however immaturely, I mean, they're not always going to get it right. But I think when we try to undermine things, we're not trying to work within the process. We're not really trying to work with those people who are trying to apply remedies to problems. We're doing a go around, or maybe a go under.
Yeah.
You know, we're being manipulative and a little, it's just not, we're not really working for unity. I think there's a lot of ego when we try and do, if we end up trying to undermine the decisions and so forth that the administration that the administrative groups are working towards, or at least trying to apply, I should say. If the Baha'is undermine the very leaders which are seeking to coordinate Baha'i activities and administer Baha'i affairs, if they continually criticize their acts and challenge or belittle their decisions, they not only prevent any real rapid progress in the faith's development from taking place, but they repel outsiders, who quite rightly might ask how we ever expect to unite the whole world when we are so disunited among ourselves. Wow.
Can I ask you to take over the reading? I'm having a little difficulty with my eyes today.
Okay. Okay. There is only one remedy for this: to study the administration. Wow. There's only one remedy for this: to study the administration, to obey the assemblies, and each believer seek to perfect his own character as a Baha'i. I'm going to read that again, even though it sounds like to me 3 or 4 remedies. There is only one remedy for this: to study the administration, to obey the assemblies, and each believer seek to perfect his own character as a Baha'i. We need to be working on ourselves. What is Baha'i character? That's a whole topic in and of itself.
Hey, somebody like me, I asked you, what is Baha'i character?
Well, we are supposed to be patient. We are supposed to be forgiving. We are supposed to be loving and understanding. We are supposed to be willing to put up with the immaturity and imperfections of others. And we could go on and on and on. If we are supposed to be
working towards the cause of unity of
Yes.
mankind.
We are supposed to be.
You use one word as unity?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That certainly should be in there.
Excuse me, Tony. When she says something, we cannot hear it.
Oh, that's right, because she's not mic'd. Her question was,
No.
and so I'll have to remember to repeat what she says. Thank you, Andy.
Thank you.
The question was, what is Baha'i character? Good question. Good question. I think we're going to have to mic Nini next time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have to give her a mic too. But we also need to remember that we are supposed to be striving with all of our imperfections. We are supposed to be striving to be good examples, to be good examples. Again, there's only one remedy for this: to study the administration, to obey the assemblies, and each believer seek to perfect his own character as a Baha'i. We can never assert the influence over others which we can exert over ourselves. We can never assert the influence over others which we can exert over ourselves. If we are better, and maybe you saw this question, maybe you saw this coming, Nini, I don't know. If we are better, if we show love, patience, and understanding of the weaknesses of others, if we seek to never criticize, but rather encourage, others will do likewise. And we can really help the cause through our example and spiritual strength. I have to put a star there. We can really help the cause through our example and spiritual strength. And that's something that we also need to point out. Certainly we constantly are to be working on ourselves and trying to become these very shining positive examples of the teachings. But still, it is about helping the cause of Baha'u'llah. The Baha'is everywhere, when the administration is first established, find it very difficult to adjust themselves. So this is not an uncommon problem. The Baha'is everywhere, when the administration is first established, find it very difficult to adjust themselves. They have to learn to obey, even when the assembly may be wrong, for the sake of unity. They have to sacrifice their personalities to a certain extent in order that the community life may grow and develop as a whole. These things are difficult, but we must realize that they will lead us to a very much greater, more perfect way of life when the faith is properly established according to the administration. It's kind of hard to read and just kind of accept the validity of it, and it is truly valid. But again, that ego often gets in the way.
Absolutely.
And Darrell has put his book down, and I think that means it's time for a song. Unto thee have I raised my hands, O Lord, and in thee have I found sheltering support, O Lord, and unto thee have I resigned myself, O Lord, and upon thee have I placed my whole reliance, O Lord. Unto thee have I raised my hands, O Lord, and in thee have I found sheltering support, O Lord. And unto thee have I resigned myself, O Lord. And upon thee have I placed my whole reliance, O Lord. And by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, O Lord. And by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, O Lord. Unto thee have I raised my hands, O Lord, and in thee have I found sheltering support, O Lord. And unto thee have I resigned myself, O Lord, and upon thee have I placed my whole reliance, O Lord. And by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, O Lord. And by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, by thee am I strengthened, O Lord. By thee am I strengthened, O Lord. That song is based on, it's a line actually out of a prayer by the Bob. It's a beautiful prayer by the MS Strength. Nice work on that too.
Thank you.
I don't know if you all could hear Nene singing in the background, but she always adds a really nice level of harmony to it. Okay.
It was.
Oh, you could hear her?
Oh yes, I liked it. It sounded really good. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
I like the prayer. Yeah, too. It was beautiful.
And Hushang is joining us. And good morning, Hushang. Now, wow. We read that paragraph about, those attributes that, we have to learn to obey even when the assembly may be wrong for the sake of unity. Every other consideration should be sacrificed for the sake of unity in the body of the cause. Every other consideration should be sacrificed for the sake of unity in the body of the cause, a unity that can be achieved only when the assemblies are helped and obeyed. What do you got to say about that, Darrell? Anything at all?
I think it says it without me having to say anything.
You know, I think about how many times I have personally thought about, well, no, that's not a good idea. It was a decision. That's not a good idea. But what we're told here is once decisions have been made by the administrative bodies, we go with it. We have to remember, you know, I think about it, that these decisions have been reached by a chosen group of people, chosen by the community to make these decisions.
Right.
And so when they come to various conclusions, even if we disagree, our responsibility is still to be obedient.
Supportive.
Yes, and supportive. Yes, I like that word, supportive. Every other consideration should be sacrificed for the sake of unity in the body of the cause, a unity that can be achieved only when the assemblies are helped and obeyed. Now, here's another question.
Well, I can tell you about more than one occasion when I may not have agreed with a decision that the LSA made because maybe I felt that they were wrong, and maybe the decision that they made might have been wrong, but I can attest to the fact that even if they make a wrong decision, at some point in time, and whether it's through divine intervention or whatever, even the wrong decisions are made right, or whatever wrong decision they made is corrected at some level. So I think it's important that we put our faith in those institutions and, you know, as this says, support them.
That's an excellent
for the
point.
Unity of the cause.
Yeah, and that's,
you know? So,
I think that's sometimes what we lose, you know, us being musicians and singers and so forth. Well, I shouldn't say we, I'll say I. Sometimes I lose sight. I say sometimes, I frequently lose sight of the fact that unity in serving the cause of Baha'u'llah, unity
it's everything.
is the most important thing. It is absolutely the most important thing. And when I say serving the cause of Baha'u'llah, I'm talking about the cause of God. For those of you who might not look at yourselves as Baha'is, that's what we're talking about. So, is consultation about such matters really necessary? I think before, well, you know what, I want to tell people what consultation is, but I'm not going to do that because, as has been shown in the past, a lot of times they answer the question before.
Absolutely.
So, is consultation about such matters really necessary? And this is coming straight from Baha'u'llah. O contending peoples and kindreds of the earth, set your faces towards unity, and let the radiance of its light shine upon you. Gather ye together, and for the sake of God, resolve to root out whatever is the source of contention amongst you. Then will the effulgence of the world's great luminary envelop the whole earth, and its inhabitants become the citizens of one city and the occupants of one and the same throne. Also from Baha'u'llah, in all things it is necessary to consult. The matter should be forcibly stressed so that consultation may be observed by all. The intent of what hath been revealed from the pen of the Most High is that consultation may be fully carried out among the friends, inasmuch as it is and will always be a cause of awareness and of awakening and a source of good and well-being. This next paragraph comes from Abdul Baha. And I know it's time for us to probably stop, but I do want to, he goes into a little detail as to exactly consultation, the purpose of it. The purpose of consultation is to show that the views of several individuals are assuredly preferable to one man. The views of several individuals are assuredly preferable to one man, even as the power of a number of men is of course greater than the power of one man. Thus, consultation is acceptable in the presence of the Almighty, and hath been enjoined upon the believers, so that they may confer upon ordinary and personal matters, as well as on affairs which are general in nature and universal. For instance, when a man hath a project to accomplish, should he consult with some of his brethren that which is, for instance, when a man hath a project to accomplish, should he consult with some of his brethren that which is agreeable will of course be investigated and unveiled to his eyes, and the truth will be disclosed. Likewise, on a higher level, should the people of a village consult one another about their affairs, the right solution will certainly be revealed. In like manner, the members of each profession, such as industry, should consult, and those in commerce should similarly consult on business affairs. In short, consultation is desirable and acceptable in all things and on all issues. Final paragraph coming from Abdul Baha. Regarding thy question about consultation of a father with his son or a son with his father in matters of trade and commerce, consultation is one of the fundamental elements of the foundation of the law of God. Such consultation is assuredly acceptable, whether between father and son or with others. There is nothing better than this. Man must consult in all things, for this will lead him to the depths of each problem and enable him to find the right solution. I think at this point we might want to point out, give a little clarification for anyone who might not, whom I don't know, I sense sort of a topic shift here. One time we're talking about toward oneness and ending prejudice, and now we're talking about consultation.
That's just a part of the process. It's not a different topic. It's just one of the elements in the process.
I will say
moving towards unity.
Yeah, and it really is a divorcing ourselves from our personal egos and preferences and discussing openly and honestly with others so that we can truly search for truth. Absolutely. And answers to issues that will truly come out with the best solutions. And at this time, as always, we like to have a little time when we can invite anyone who would like to share a prayer or a song or a reading of your choosing. This is that time, and as always, and I do want to say again, folks, please do keep Kambiz Rouhani in your prayers. He still is not able to join us. But as always, we always like to start out with our Andy Murphy moment. Andy, I see you've already unmuted yourself, but I'm going to ask you anyway. Do you have something to share with us today?
Yes, indeed.
All righty then, please do.
Sufficient unto me. He verily is the all sufficing. In him let the trusting trust. In him let the trusting trust. Sufficient unto me. He verily is the all
Thank you, Andy. Beautiful. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to share? Anyone at all? Well then, in that case, let us continue. And I always, okay, yeah, there we go. Yes. And as always, we like to remind you that this is not just a couple of guys that decided to, let's do a program regarding or a devotion regarding the Baha'i faith. This is a community effort, a joint community effort from people of various communities. And we are coming to you through the kindness of the Clearwater Bahá'ís. This is their webpage if you are here through the Zoom. If you are here through Facebook, of course, you just, you might have come through through Clearwater also, but also through my own personal Facebook page. I always post this. So those of you for those of you who may have, who may be looking at our program after it was actually done, hello. And we're glad that you could share with us, even if it's not at the time that we do this program. And Daryl?
So if you have an interest in the Baha'i faith and would like to know more about it, there are some definitive websites where you can go learn more. And they are www.baha'i.org, www.baha'i.us, www.bahaiteachings.org. And if you happen to be in the Tampa Bay area or in the Clearwater area, you can always go to the Clearwater website at www.clearwaterbaha'is.org.
Yes, yes. How are we doing on time? I can't see the clock. Where's the clock? Oh,
No.
We have a lot of time. So let's just sit here quietly.
I don't think so.
We actually, what was that again? Do another song? Okay, we could do another song. We could do another song because we do have time.
Go for it.
I'm laughing because as we've talked about in the past, sometimes I'll write something and I will quote Prince. I actually saw a video of Prince where he says, when a songwriter shares a song with someone, they already think it's a good song, but they wouldn't share it. And then he's talking about in the music business, he said, and then, you got the producers and everybody else that comes along and tears it up or whatever. Well, sometimes I share songs with Daryl and Nene, and when I share them, I think they're good songs, and they often are. But sometimes Daryl will give me a look. I'll hit a chord or whatever. He'll give me a look like, what was that? Anyway, you want to do all we want is peace?
Sure.
Because that's all we want. All we want is peace. Let me set up a... I do want to say that I'm really happy to see that Renee could join us today. Renee and I have been texting back and forth. I told him he actually doesn't live far from here.
Thank you, Tony. And I'm very happy to be here, to join you guys.
And we keep saying that, we're going to get together and we're going to get together and we're going to get together. And it hasn't happened recently.
We will.
Yeah, we will. We will. Sun is rising on a new day, shedding light across the land. The Father's showing us the right way to take His love to all. every Christian, every Jew and Zoroastrian, for every Buddhist, Baha'i and Hindu, every child of God, there's a way we can live as one. Take every rocket, every rifle, every weapon and melt them down. Then build the plowshares to feed the hungry, till no more hunger can be found. 'Cause all we want is peace. I own every mountain, peace down in every valley, flowing like a river, may it never cease. All we want is peace. 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 All we want is peace.
Peace.
Yeah, we haven't done that in a long time.
That's true.
And now it's time for us to close.
That was beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you. So, Daryl,
Yes, sir.
you know, people are going to be going out this week as they always do, and they go out to their jobs or go out to school or go out on vacation, whatever they're doing. What do you think they ought to do while they're doing those things?
There's only one thing that they need to do, and that's share love. Because if they share love wherever they go, that place will be blessed with the spirit
Yes.
of kindness, humanity, and the love of God. So if you don't do anything else, hey, just share the love. I guarantee you, it won't cost you anything, and wherever you are, that place becomes brightened by your love.
Yes.
And everyone that it touches will be uplifted by your love. So just, it's easy. It's easy. Just share the love.
O people of justice, be as brilliant as the light, and as splendid as the fire that blazed in the burning bush. The brightness of the fire of your love will no doubt fuse and unify the contending peoples and kindreds of the earth, whilst the fierceness of the flame of enmity and hatred cannot but result in strife and ruin. We beseech God that he may shield his creatures from the evil designs of his enemies. He barely hath power over all things. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be world embracing. Let your vision be Watch over yourselves, for the evil one is lying in wait, ready to entrap you. Gird yourselves against his wicked devices, and led by the light of the name of the all-seeing God, make your escape from the darkness that surroundeth you. Let your vision be world-embracing, rather than confined to your own self. These are the words